Hello, everybody. My name is TJ, and I'm here with my brother Tim, and we are the Yinzer Bros, and this is the Yinzer Bros Podcast. Now, tonight's podcast is a preview of the Steelers-Giants Monday Night Football game. It is the inaugural game for the Steelers in the 2020 season. We are excited. Football is back, so we'll be talking about the game, breaking everything down. It's going to be wonderful. Before we do that, let me remind you, if you've got any questions or ideas about the show, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. Again, you can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. We'll talk to you about anything. In fact, we're open to corporate sponsorship. We'll drive any car off your lot. We'll eat any food from your menu. We're here for you, baby. That's what we are. The Yinzer Bros podcast juggernaut is in the water. We are moving forward. So before we talk about the preview, we're going to start a new segment on the show tonight called the Yinzer Bros Mailbag. It's the Yinzers Mailbag. It is. So we had two questions actually from last week. Our podcast hit with such a tremendous force that we had actually two emails come in. The first question was this: does Tim ever smile? So Tim, this is directed at you. It's not for me. Yinzer Bro Tim, do you ever smile?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while. So Tim, what are some of the things that makes you smile?
My lovely wife.
Your lovely wife, of course. Who wouldn't smile with the lovely Melissa? What is there anything else that makes you smile other than those Dove chocolate bars, those ice cream chocolate bars?
They're Haagen-Dazs, first of all.
Oh, Haagen-Dazs. Okay, I had the wrong thing. Yeah, go.
You definitely had the wrong thing. My lovely daughter makes me smile.
Yeah. Is there anything else that would make you smile after the game on Monday night?
Yeah. A Steeler victory.
A Steeler victory would make you smile. So, yes, the question answered is, yes, Tim does smile under certain circumstances. Not all the time. I would say Tim is not a smiley-faced guy. He's not like this guy right here, smiley-faced cookie. I'm saving this. This is a celebration cookie for the Steeler game. We'll see how we go. We did have another question in the Yinzer mailbag. Will we ever see the Franco helmet? Now, you guys have not seen the Franco helmet yet. The Franco helmet is one of the Harris family's most prized possessions. It is a helmet from the Franco's Italian army back in the 70s that our dad, Tom Harris, Papu, the baddest mother in the valley, affectionately, that was his name. He collected it. It is signed by Franco Harris. We bring it out only in special occasions or Steeler victories. Hopefully you'll see it after the game this week. Will you get to see the Franco helmet? Well, again, if we win, you get to see it. If not, sorry, you don't. Now, again,
if we lose, you may see the Mason helmet.
Yeah, that's true. If you lose, you may see the Mason helmet. That's true. And if you missed it from last week, we have a replica Mason Rudolph helmet, complete with non-existent face mask and tag in the back that says his name and his number. So again, if you're feeling like Mason, you can throw that sucker on. It's great.
And if we have to put that on more than Steelers defeats, it's going to be a long season.
It will. It'll be a long time for us. It will. So that's the Yinzer mailbag. Again, if you've got any questions, got any ideas about the show, any personal questions about us, we are more than welcome. Or we're ready to share our lives with you, the fans, the public, the people. You can email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com, and we'll help you as much as we can. The next segment we have before we talk about the preview, we like to call the Yinzer Way Back Memory. Now Tim and I are true Yinzers. That means that we understand everything Pittsburgh. We are immersed in Pittsburgh culture. Now, if you're a Pittsburgher, two of the best restaurants you could ever care to eat at are Eaton Park, again, the home place of the smiley face cookie, and then
Delicious.
back in the day, King's Family Restaurant. I mean, who does not love Hartley King? Now, I remember back in the day, we would play our football games, Gateway High School Friday night. We would play, we would win most of the time. And then as soon as we were done, we would head down to the King's Family Restaurant, and we would get, of course, the most beloved, most delicious dessert ever on the planet, the creamy fudge ice cream cake. I don't know if you've ever had one of those. I don't even know if they still have those. Do they have those anymore, Tim?
Last time I was in Pittsburgh, there's a couple trips, some couple creamy fudge ice cream cakes. Yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
It got about 2,200 calories, in just in that serving alone, but it's worth it. So Tim, let's be real. So you got the Eaton Park that's got the smiley face cookies. And again, Eaton Park, we are open to corporate sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cookies is fine. Meal tickets is fine.
Sticky Alamode's pretty good too. There.
Yeah, the sticky Alamo is pretty good too.
It's pretty good.
So you got Eaton Park with the smiley face cookies, and you got the Kings with the creamy fudge ice cream cake. Tim, what was your choice? Are you a smiley face guy, or are you a creamy fudge ice cream cake guy?
I mean, it's two different delights. I mean, if you want something quick and on the go, you're grabbing one of them delicious smiley face cookies.
Tim, have you ever bought one smiley face cookie? Just one?
I don't want to disclose that. That's none of your business what I do in my spare time.
So I'm thinking you're probably a half a dozen to dozen smiley face cookie kind of guy.
I would think a half a dozen maybe on the light side.
And when you say the light side, that would probably be the only thing on any of the Harris brothers. That the only thing on the light side would be just a half a thing of cookies, because you and I are both not on the light side.
I wouldn't say we're fluffy.
Fluffies is probably pretty good. So you're saying now, if it's on the go, you're grabbing a cookie, but if it's a sit down creamy fudge ice cream cake?
Oh, I mean, I've tried to replicate it here at the house. Yes, to sit down, it's the creamy fudge ice cream cake. It's delicious.
And I think we all have great stories of both. If you got a great story, you can email us. You can put it in the comments. Again, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Please, like our page, subscribe to our channel. You get all this great content. We'd love to hear your creamy fudge ice cream cake stories. We'd love to hear your creamy fudge or your smiley face cookie, again, stories as well. Contact us. It's great. It's a Pittsburgh tradition. It is. Now let's get on to the game, the preview. Obviously, the mighty Steelers are going against the New York Giants this week. Everything starts with the players on the field. We know that the Steelers are coming in pretty healthy, but we do have some injuries. What injuries do we have, Tim?
It's looking like the Castro. He hasn't practiced all week. Looking like he is probably not going to be a go for the game on Monday. I know he's been out majority of camp, so with a knee, gets you kind of worried. I mean, you got that. He's an all-pro, so you kind of want to make sure he's healthy.
Yeah. Now, what's nice is this: we have a pretty decent replacement. We picked up that kid from the Chiefs, right? Is that where he's from? Wisniewski. He's from the Chiefs, I think.
Yeah, he's from the Chiefs. So I mean, I think he was a starter for them last year. So I know I think he went to Penn State, and I think he's a Pittsburgh guy. So
cool,
good swing guy. I think he was taking Finney's spot. So we got to get a nice solid backup.
Yeah. So I think we should be okay. I mean, again, now we do have 3 spots that are different now because you lost, Ramon. He retired, so he's out. So it'll be interesting to see how the line gels. And we have a different line coach too. So from 2 years ago. So I'm kind of curious to see what will happen with that. I mean, because we definitely want to protect Ben. But other than that, we're pretty healthy. I know we got a little scared because we thought that our wide receiver is going to be out for a little bit, but he's going to be back. It seems like he had a foot injury, but he should be fine.
Talking about Deontay Johnson?
Yeah, Johnson. He looks like he'll be good. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious to see how everything, fits together. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then when you go to the Giants side, they're a little bit more banged up already than we are, which is good for the Steelers, bad for the Giants, right? I know Golden Tate, he's out. Or he's not out. He's got a bad hammy. You got 4 guys that got bad hammies, and those hammy injuries, man, they can linger all year. And again, anybody that can, that can make them one-dimensional. If all you got to do is stop Barkley, that's a big deal compared to having a balanced attack. So, what's your quick take on the Giants? I know you've immersed yourself in the Giants to see what they could do, who they are. Give me some of your initial thoughts on who the Giants are and some things that are just popping in your head about them.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I did some research on them past couple of days. They stink. I mean, besides Barkley, they stink. I mean,
They're bad.
I almost stopped my research at. You look at the coaching staff. Head coach comes from New England. I mean, you've seen all the New England assistants. They've kind of been all over the league. So it
really tells you, man, Belichick, he's the guy. I mean, all these other guys are basically his puppets. So I don't know. Has anybody come out of that organization's got a brain other than him? I mean, really, you've had a couple guys that were decent, but is anybody that tough, that strong?
I don't know. But this guy, he seems like he's a kind of a mold between. Got a little Coughlin in him though too with the discipline. But I mean, I can swallow him and almost get okay him. Then you go a little bit deeper into their coaching staff, man. Offensive coordinator Jason Garrett, And then I think their other
the ex-Cowboy.
Their other coaches, Kitchens. I almost stopped all the research right there and just said, Steelers don't win this game, they should just burn the rest of the season down. I mean, because those two guys, I put it this way, I don't know how Garrett had his coaching job at Dallas for as long as he did. I don't know if he had pictures of Jerry Jones.
I think he did.
He had going on. And Freddie Kitchens, I mean, he seems like he has two brain cells fighting over each other. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, other than that, I mean, the glaring part for the Giants when you kind of looked at everything was Barkley. I mean, Barkley, to me, he's a top 3 back in the league.
He's special.
Special.
He could take a game over. He's just a man among boys.
Special. I mean, you don't know. And looking a little bit deeper, Daniel Jones, I think he's gonna be a good quarterback. You don't know what he's gonna get. What you're gonna get with him. I mean, he's turned the ball over. I think last year, fumbled 11 times.
He is a turnover machine. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. You go into the rest of their team. Their offensive line is they picked up I think the 4th pick of the draft. They got the kid from I believe Georgia, tackle. Other than that, I mean, I think one of their big guys, Soldier, I think his name is, opted out. So I mean, he was one of their tackles, which was a big thing. So I mean, their line is not very great.
No, they're not.
Their receiving core, the guy that I would be other scared of besides Barkley is Evan Ingram, young tight end. His biggest problem is staying healthy. So if he's healthy, he's on the field, he could cause some matchup issues for the Steelers. Their defense, I looked, they stink.
Yeah,
I mean, their defense is bad. I mean, the only guy that I kind of saw that I kind of liked a little bit was they got a safety they picked in the 2nd round from Alabama. I don't even know if he's going to play. And I think they picked up Martinez from Green Bay. His defense last year in Green Bay stinks.
Yeah, you don't want to. If you're picking up defensive guys in Green Bay, that's a bad thing, man.
They're across the board. Their defense is just not very good. I don't. They won 4 games last year, and some people are getting kind of high on them with their offense. I don't think they're. I think this is more of for them. It's more of a getting the regime in, and I don't know how good that regime's going to be. I just think they stink, man.
Well, anytime you got a new coach and you got new systems, it takes them a while to pick it up. And then when you got a second-year quarterback, I mean, it's a recipe for – it's just going to take them time to figure out what's going on and for everybody to get on the same page. So to expect them to be good or even to do better than they did last year, I don't think that's realistic. So I don't know. We'll see. So I think we agree the Giants, they stink. They're just not very good. And, but hey, the Steelers have a tradition of every once in a while playing down to the level of their opponent and making, players that stink look like all pros. So let's hope that doesn't happen this week, You're muted, oh mighty one.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We have a high quality broadcast here. Don't worry, it's fine.
It's great. I know you see that every once in a while. I see that more often than not, that they play down to their competition. I mean, I still have a feeling that I'm going to be sitting in the 4th quarter of this game thinking, why they let this team in the game? We're going to lose. And next thing I know, I'm going to be holding on for dear life come with 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
The only thing I could say this year that I think is going to be interesting for me is it seems like there's an urgency in Ben, and it seems like they have a different mental just posture this year than they've had before, even in training camp. And maybe instead of coasting through things, they've always been kind of on the upside, predicted to do all this great stuff. I like the Steelers better coming from the underdog, and maybe with them coming from the underdog, they won't take some of these teams lightly because you know what, you can't. So we know that the Giants aren't very good. Let's talk about the Steelers. Obviously, when you play, you take the field, you get the offense, and you got the defense. Let's talk about the Steelers' offense first. I think that's going to be the biggest. We don't know, necessarily what the offense is going to bring because Ben's had a year off. There's a lot of uncertainty in the offense. What are some of your keys? What are 3 offensive keys you think the Steelers need to have in order for them to beat the Giants on Monday night?
I mean, first thing, Ben's got to play. If Ben plays mediocre, I think they got a fantastic chance of winning this game. Second big key, and Ben can't get into Ben's old gunslinging ways of just trying to fit balls in left and right and turning the ball over. They turn the ball over. That's the only way this team's going to stay in the game. I've seen
how many pass attempts do you want to see Ben have? Where do you want? You don't want, if he's chucking the ball 40, 50 times, that's not good for us. Yeah. Where do you think is a good comfort level for us for him chucking the ball around the field?
I would say between 20 and 28 times.
I think that's solid. If you do that, I think you're keeping him within himself. And again, we know he's going to have some rust. Right. We know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think if you keep him there, that means that we're probably ahead. We're controlling the game with the run, right? So you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't turn the ball over. Give me another one.
I'm kind of curious to see what that line's like a little bit too. Especially you got the backups in there. I know you're gonna have you got a new right tackle. So that's going to be an interesting part to it. I know you're bringing Filer into the guard. He's been there, played last year as the right tackle. You're going to have Wisniewski at the guard. You're still going to have Villanueva. So you got some good people, but you're still kind of nervous about those two new pieces on that line.
Yeah, anytime you have DeCastro out too, you get a little nervous. I do think you're right. I think it'll be interesting to see how the line gels. Again, they'll hopefully be a little bit more inspired because they're going to want to protect Ben. And just show everybody that the Steelers are back. So, so your three things were Ben's got to play great. We got to run the ball well, and you can't turn the ball over. Give me a wild card. Do you have a wild card player on offense, somebody you think that could make a difference that maybe nobody's really looking at right now?
To me, the wild card, like I said, I don't think James Conner's a wild card. I mean, I'd like to say him because he's been banged up. I think he's going to be fine. My biggest wild card's probably going to be those tight ends.
Yeah.
I want to see how they use those tight ends. I want to see how Ebron plays and McDonald. I want to see if they can get those guys both on the field at the same time and have two pass-catching tight ends that we've really never seen in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
At one time. So I'm kind of curious to see how that goes. And I think if I had to pick one of the two, I lean towards Ebron. I mean, he's a game breaker. He can match up against tight ends with his speed and beat them, and he can match up against corners because he's so big. Yeah, and beat them. So
I think you're right. I think I'd love to see some packages with those two guys on the field. It's kind of exciting. You don't know what they're going to bring to the table. And I would love to see, when you think of just sheer size, you get Claypool out there too. You got three guys that you're talking like 6'4" and above. Those are matchup problems for everybody. And then you throw some quick guys in there in the middle, maybe Johnson, maybe, you get, Juju out there and stuff like that. There could be some interesting matchup things. And one of the things I like about the tight ends too is that keeps everything close to Ben too. So he doesn't have to chuck the ball 20, 30 yards down the field to start.
The one thing I would keep an eye on if I was everybody is, Ben, he's going to want to get the butterflies out. I expect him to take some deep pops early. So I'd keep your eye on James Washington too.
Yeah. Yeah. He stretches the field. Wouldn't it be terrible? Ben goes back there, chucks that first pass out there, grabs his elbow. I think all of collective Pittsburgh would die.
Why do you have to put that juju in there? Why do you have to put that juju in there?
I don't believe in superstitions. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I do. So now I got to sleep on that for the next 2 days.
So I like it. Again, I think my wild card, I want to see what Claypool does. I heard a little bit more noise out of him this week too at the training camp. And they said he is exceeding expectations with work ethic and his abilities. And I think that's just exciting.
I'm just hoping he knows, the playbook. That's what kind of Hemter's all rookies. So, but I've been hearing the same thing with you. I heard he knows his stuff. So,
yeah. Hey, let's hope he's a matchup problem. Now let's flop to the defense. Now we know obviously the defense is a little more tangible for us because they were a stud defense last year in 2019. They just got, in my estimation, they just got better because they got smarter. They got more of their system under their belt. Again, as long as they don't get hurt, they should be a great defense. Give me three of your defensive keys again for this game for the Steelers.
Number one, you got to stop the run. You got to stop Barkley. So I think the defensive line getting pressure up front is going to be giant enormous to kind of shut those run lanes off to contain Barkley.
Yeah, the Giants, as Barkley goes, that's where the Giants go. We focus on him. You shut him down. Make Jones beat you with his arm, and let's just see if he can do that. Give me a couple others.
I think a big one is going to be the Evan Ingram matchup. I don't know if it's going to be Bush matching up with him, or it's going to be one of those hybrid safety type of deal. I'm praying to God it's not Terrell Edmonds.
He's your guy. Edmonds is your guy. He's your guy, right?
All year. It's either I'm going to put my hand up and say, hey, I was wrong, crucify me, or I'm going to be beating the drum all year. So how they defend him is going to be a big issue because I think, if he goes off, that's going to let Barkley go off a little bit, and then you got double problems.
It will. You don't want to see that.
And you got some of their bum receivers maybe trying to go off too, but I think that's a big thing.
Now give me one more defensive key. You got another one?
The other defensive key I'm going to say is probably, as I said before, Daniel Jones coughs the ball up like he's allergic to it. So you got those outside guys, Bud, and TJ, and even the rookie that I've been hearing is probably going to get is
Highsmith. Yeah.
I think you got to get pressure on him. You get some pressure on him, get a couple turnovers out of him. I think you're going to be going.
It's a perfect matchup for us because last year Bud and Watt had 12 forced fumbles from their positions, which is fantastic. So they go after the ball, which is great. I mean, that's what you want to see. So I'm with you 100%. I like your idea too, as far as like, I think Reggie Bush has got to have a stud game. If he does that, obviously it's his second year. As he takes another step, usually Pittsburgh is great with second-year player development. I think he's got the possibility to be one of the best in the league. Again, I'm a little nervous about the depth of inside linebacker for the Steelers. Again, it's a different league though. So you got, now they've got, Marcus Allen is coming in too. He's kind of like that hybrid thing. You have to play it like that. You don't have those big thumpers anymore. I mean, it's a different thing.
I am kind of curious to what they do with Allen now that Sean Davis is back, because I don't know if they're going to use Sean Davis as that hybrid in the box instead of him, because he can't play that. Sean Davis is a pretty big, or if they're going to use Troy Evans as that hybrid in the box, which again, he stinks.
He does stink, but he's a smart player, so we'll see what happens. I don't know, and I'd like to see too I'd like to see how our front guys handle their offensive line. I'd love to see, man, if Cam and Tuitt come in and they just if they can control that front man.
If they're getting pushed up around by this Giants offensive line, we are in a world of hurting for the rest of the year because they stink.
We are. So who's your wild card player on defense, or who's your guy to watch on defense?
I mean, like I said, I don't know if this is a wild card or whatnot, but the guy, I mean, you have so many stars in that defense. It's kind of hard to kind of pick out somebody that's not a star. My guy is Devin Bush. He has to I think he's going to have a big game. I mean, he's just second year, learning the defense. I think he was fast last year. I think knowing the defense now, he's going to be even faster. I think that whole defense in general is going to be faster, just being together 1 year and being more cohesive. I think speed is going to be the name of the game for this defense. But if it's anybody, it's going to be Devin Bush.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I'm going to kind of lean toward Tuitt. If Tuitt could stay healthy, he is a force of nature. I mean, he moves people. He can disrupt so many things, and especially if he can push that line. If they could put that line of scrimmage a foot on the other side, man, the Steelers, it's going to be a good day for them, man. And so I'd love to see. Hopefully, Tuitt could get rolling this year.
I mean, if Tuitt can stay healthy, it may kind of gear my thoughts about Notre Dame players just around the corner a little bit.
May change them a little bit. Hey, you dodged a bullet this year or this week too. I thought for sure that the Steelers would go pick up Anthony Chickillo off of waivers, but it looks like Chickillo, as far as I know, he's not going to be part of the team. It's kind of weird. I don't, unless they're going to pick him up later. I didn't see if he landed anywhere. Did you see if he landed anywhere?
Speed bump. That's where he's a speed bump.
Hey, he may be at the Sheets. I don't know. Maybe he's doing the MTO stuff at the Sheets. I don't know. Maybe he didn't make it back to the NFL yet. But who knows? We get an injury. He may be coming back.
That's one of my worst nightmares, seeing Chickillo.
You're not a big Chickillo fan. I get it.
If there's a word worse than stank, he wraps it up in the circle.
Well, that probably, if you're going from Dr. Seuss, that might be stank or stunk. It could be one of those other two as well. So you could actually have a whole stink arsenal, Tim. You could have all these other words too. And then good news for you. Yeah. Guess who made it back to the pond, the Pittsburgh pond? Your buddy, the Duck, is on the practice squad. So nobody picked him up yet. By the way, you can protect 4 players this year on the practice squad, I think is what they do. So they did not protect him. So still any team in the NFL could swoop down and take a hold of the Duck and make them their starter. Now, so far, nobody's done that.
All it's telling me is that's going to make our defense a dominant defense going after the Duck every week in practice. He's going to make them sharp as a tack.
Sure. I get it. So give me a score prediction. What do you think the score is going to be at the end of this game?
If the Giants score more than 10 points, I'm going to throw up. So my final prediction, truthfully, I'm going to go 24-7 Steelers.
That's a good pick. I'm going to go 27-10. 27-10. I think they're going to get a touchdown, maybe a field goal. I think I want to see what Colquitt does too. I think that'll be interesting.
I mean, the Steelers got rid of another one of one of my "you stink" guys. So I'm
Barry.
hoping Cole quit. I mean, I don't. If Cole can punt the ball 30 yards, I'll be happy.
Oh, I think he can pull that off. The other stuff, I don't know. So those are our predictions. That's our take on the Monday night game. Again, I think it's pretty solid. Again, we study this stuff. We love the Steelers. We love football. Again, we, like all of Pittsburgh, we're hoping for a Steelers win this week. We want to win with no injuries. That would be great. It's great to put the 2019 season behind us and steam ahead into 2020. Now, don't forget, if you got any questions, you want to ask us anything, you got some ideas about the show, you'd like to sponsor us with corporate sponsorship, paid for us in cookies. Can you see that? Is it getting weird? There we go. Paid for us in cookies, or I'm give a shout out to Rudy's House of Submarines in Swissville, old Uncle Rudy. I know he's gone now. God rest his wonderful sandwich's soul. We're open to corporate sponsorships. We, unlike most shows, we can be bought.
And again, if we get I don't want the pirate smiley face cookies. I want the right smiley face cookies.
That's true. We're not talking about the Pirates right now. They're not.
Stink.
They do. They stink. They're not. They're competing a little bit, but they're still at the bottom of the pile. I mean, that's
my little league team competed too, so they stink.
That's true. Tim was they were Little League champions. Tim was a Little League champion back in the day. We'll say that for another podcast. So again, brag. Brian, nobody likes a bragger. So again, if you got any ideas, you want to contact us, email us at yinzerbros@gmail.com. We'll get back with you as soon as we can. Again, I'm TJ. My brother Tim is right next to me. We are the Yinzer Bros. We're here just to talk sports and to love you, Pittsburgh. See you later, Pittsburgh. Bye.